Welcome to this week's episode of the Ballinesian Podcast here on the Polytickin Network. Samoans talking about sports. We're going to be talking about the Frankie Luvu piece that was on the NFL Network. We're going to be talking about the Chargers and the Raiders schedule release, as well as win-loss predictions. Now that the schedule for this upcoming NFL season has been released, week by week, we're going to see exactly how we think our teams are going to do as analysts, okay? Like, 17-0, okay, yeah. But we'll go through, we'll see the opponents, we'll see what's going on. We'll take a look there. We are on the Polytickin Network. Make sure to support the network Patreon, patreon.com/the Polytickin Podcast. Also, Pacifica Movie Starter Kit. We got the new Lilo and Stitch is coming out soon. We're watching the original 2002. Yeah, so if you want to hear how that goes, a little bit of talk with that, look out for the Pacifica Movie Starter Kit. Follow the shows, rate us 5 stars on wherever you're listening to this. It helps. The algorithm pushes us out, and we appreciate you guys for tapping in.
Yes, please.
Ballinesian Podcast. Oh, what?
Stitch voice? You do a Stitch
voice? Ugh. Mr. Krista! Yeah, for sure. I just watched it recently.
I like
yeah, he's about to shoot somebody. Yeah. So Lilo and Stitch. Family. Yeah. So we're gonna see how that goes. Trying to get Nora to be able to sit down and watch a movie.
No, not right now.
Not at 3 years old. We've been practicing, bro. I've been like moving furniture around and making like a home theater, pushing it close to the TV, and like, all right, we get our snacks, we sit down, we stay seated, we watch the movie, stuff like that. So I'm hoping she's ready by next week. We've been training for a little bit for when Lilo and Stitch comes out. She's actually excited to go see it. But I'm excited to see your arm. Wait 1 second. The Ballinesian Podcast, sponsored by Levasa Island Apparel, www.levasaislandapparel.com, or on Instagram and TikTok at @le_Vasa. Shout out to brother Uri.
Man, go pick up your shorts. I'm about to buy
like it's like $15.
That's what I said. I seen the gray ones with the pink pasty. Oh my gosh.
Got the summer shorts. Yeah. Definitely check out Levasa. Levasa Island Apparel. All right. Let's see that new ink. You got a new sleeve? No, just kidding.
First off, I'm gonna shout you out before the end of the show, Josh. Shout out to Josh Filoi at A1_Tatal on Instagram, on TikTok, bro. Such an amazing tattoo artist, man. A sniper with a gun in his hand, and that's just me talking about him being just his. That's his. It's not even his hobby. It's the artistry he does. You know what I mean? But that doesn't speak to the person that he is. The dude's always trying to find people he can help. You know, he's always got a kind word for people. Like, I don't know if you find I don't know how to play it. Like, just a really dope show, honestly. And I can't thank him enough for, for everywhere I go. Like I told him, everywhere I go now, people, you go with me. Everyone I talk to, they're going to know who you are before they even meet you. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
Yeah. That is fresh. How long did you sit for? How long did that's a whole arm sleeve. That's from the wrist to the elbow?
Yeah.
What's the time on that?
Man, I got there at 10. Folks, if you have a tattoo appointment, be early. Actually, my appointment was at 10. I got there about 9:45. We talked, shot the shit, rolled the blunt, honestly, rolled the blunt, and then he started designing, and maybe about 10:45, 11, he was ready, and he just started blasting on 11, and we got done just maybe 10 minutes before 5. So
that's 6 hours.
Man, he's just He's with it, with the gun in his hand. Amazing. All freehand too. Uh, he asked me if I had a design in mind. I did, but then I thought to myself, nah, man. You know what I mean? Josh has given me his time. So when I got there,
Mm,
he asked about the design. I said, oh yeah, man, I do have the design. We talked about it before, and I told him, but look, up to you, bro. Whatever,
wow.
at your discretion, bro. Because like, he goes, oh, I hope you're ready for like traditional. I was like, that's that's what you have. That's what I got. So yeah, man. A total freehand. He didn't even take long. He outlined everything, drew out the outline. We took a break, maybe like a 5 minute break after he drew everything. And right before, shout out to Talanoa Smith who showed up to hang out.
Hey.
Yeah, Talanoa walked in as he turned on the gun, and we were all chilling. And he just went to work, man. Just looked at it, just lined it up, and then we took another break after he finished lining. Walked back in, we moved my arm this way, that way, and just looked at it, and then said, "All right," and just started going.
Here we
And
go.
yeah, and we came away with man, I have three big pieces on my body. Shout out to Duffy, who did my right arm, Duffy Hudson. Um, Shout out to Ali'i Valfusi, who did my leg. He to Talamanaya, that's where you can find Duffy on Instagram and Facebook, and at Lee's Inked underscore Inked at Lee's underscore Inked on IG. You can find Lee at
Bro.
just and just I man, I can't tell you how amazed I am. Every time I look at it, all three pieces, and now I get to look at the other two I was looking at all the time. Now I just look at my left arm now, just in amazement, man. That like when he's drawing it out, you're like, man, I wonder what it's gonna look like. Because you're like, nah, it's like I can't see it yet. I can't see it yet. And then little by little, as he's going, even after the outline, you're like, man, I wonder what it's gonna look like. And then as
Mm.
it gets closer to fixing, it's just that amazing. And he was able to keep my little. I have a couple, three other tattoos on that same arm that are.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got the tat on your left arm, but you also have other pieces. How did that work?
He was able to like outline
Hmm.
everything and
Hmm.
incorporate it into the sleeve. So
So it
man,
flows all into the piece, all your
it
previous
does.
tattoos. That's dope.
It's dope. I mean, for people who don't tattoo like me, like it's like I'm pretty sure for him it's like, no, I got this. But for me, it was like, damn, amazing.
Little by little, you can't see it, even though you have it all planned, but you trust in it, and eventually the art, bro.
Yeah,
That's dope.
man.
That's dope. Shout out
Shout
to
out to
Josh.
Josh, man. He's doing a piece right now in Sherwood. It's an in-home visit. Check out his Instagram again at A1 underscore Tatal. He's doing a first time piece for his nephew who's just graduating from high school. And
Mm.
it starts at the shoulder, chest, and the full sleeve. I was like, damn. And he's got the lining done now and he's starting to fill. Said it's gonna be about 3 days. It looks amazing already. I'm telling you, Josh is that guy.
Skills, artists, art. Uh, yeah. Shout out to A1 to Tao. Shout out to Josh. Back on the show, bro. We had an episode a while ago. I think it was like episode 10,
I think it was
16,
like
something like that. It was
something
like double
early.
digits, yeah. Where we had Josh on the show and just like just talking about Tatao and how he as an artist works the industry and gets stuff like that. So if you want to hear more about that, definitely check out that episode. Uh and yeah, hopefully we can get him on here soon.
Oh yeah.
Talking about not seeing the finished picture and then piece by piece, kind of trusting in it, kind of makes me think about Frankie Luvu. Man,
Okay.
first of all, that
Hate that guy.
documentary, that the NFL did, they talked a lot about Frankie growing up in American Samoa, and they had pictures of him as a kid. And I remember seeing this little kid running around like even Junior, Carl, Noah were in the
Yep.
same class, a couple
Yep.
years ahead of Frankie, and then me, Eddie, Lucy, Frankie's older sister, were in the same class at Samoa Baptist, and then again at Tafuna High School. But I remember seeing this little energetic, somewhat mischievous looking kid run around Samoa Baptist.
Somewhat.
Somewhat. But it's crazy to see and exactly the story. And I guess they're putting out the story. They're highlighting Frankie and his journey, the trials that he had to go through. It was crazy. First of all, great to see Frankie, Lucy, Daniel Ekwale, Joe Salavea all on this documentary talking about it. Those are some big names.
Yep.
But yeah, just learning more about Frankie, his family, dealing with getting into the NFL and kind of losing his love for football because of that situation when he was playing for the Jets. Navigating that, losing his brother Frazier, and then the family explaining everything that they had to go through and that Frankie went through to kind of build back from that, as well as seeing his career taking off after going to the Carolina Panthers. Now he's with the Washington Commanders. Teamed up with Bobby Wagner last year to be a great, second level of that defense. And then also it's because it's NFLAANHPI month, right? Seeing those stories, I was like, nah, this is dope. And then it was like Asian American, Native Hawaiian. I was like, oh, you because could have done this a different month. But it was great to see that that profile, that highlight, just seeing Frankie talking through all that, seeing other members of his family, teammates, coaches, and stuff like that talking, and how he went from American Samoa, Washington State, got out of there to New York to Carolina, now with the Commanders. I just wanted to highlight Frankie. Obviously, that seeing that documentary, and a lot of people will get to see that. It's like a 14-minute profile and piece. A lot of people are going to see it, and his profile is going to elevate even more. But
for sure.
Seeing that, or what do you remember about Frankie growing up, or have to say about that?
Oh man, just always in the football, just like in the piece that they did for him. I shouldn't say little. It was a short piece, but it's a big piece for us because watching Frankie, a lot of people won't know the significance of it, like because they're like, well, we've seen Samoan players come or Polynesian players in general come, and they've been pretty big. We have guys like, of course, for us, the greatest ever, Junior Seau. We've seen him play. We've seen arguably the next greatest or rival to Junior Seau's greatest title, Troy Polamalu. We've seen guys like that take over the game when they were playing at their position. They were basically number one at their position when they played. We've seen guys like Mark Tune, Jesse Sapolu. So like seeing stars that look like us isn't new, but seeing somebody from the island that we grew up with, seeing somebody that we actually saw, that we saw grow up in Samoa, that's why it's super significant for a lot of us. Man, Frankie was, like you said, energetic kid running around. A lot of the pictures they showed Frankie with like short hair, but he used to have this afro. He used to run around. It just every Saturday. I live right by the stadium, so I couldn't miss him. And then, of course, on the weekends, Junior and Noah would always be at my house. So, we'd always see Frankie because I'm either picking up Junior or Junior's coming to pick me up, or we're at their house. He's at my house. Yeah, man, just the kid played almost every position on the football field when he was in high school or AYF. He played the line, played tight end. I've seen him play receiver. I've seen him play quarterback. I've seen him play running back. I've seen him play safety. You know, Man, it's amazing.
You literally watched Frankie Luvu grow up.
Pretty much, man. Like, close family friends. His brother Junior or Veressa, is someone I call my brother too. We're tight as thieves. And not to get everybody mixed up. Not Frankie's younger than me. He's younger than Junior. But yeah, Frankie was around us. Again, their family. Yeah, it's crazy to see I know there's a lot of people, even like Dan, like the way Dan talks about him. Um, like Dan was like, yeah, I heard about him. Dan played at Polytech. Dan's I don't know how many years older than Frankie, but for Daniel to say that, that's crazy. Because coming out of Polytech, Daniel was a beast. Daniel, if we had rankings at the time like they do here, Daniel was probably like the number one defensive player coming out of American Samoa when he left. Big D tackle, made it out to Washington State. So for him to be like, yeah, man, when I was at Polytech, I heard about Frankie and I wanted to see what he was about, and that's crazy. Just yeah, man, super great to see. Um, and then also great to see him be vulnerable out there because I know a lot of times people will see all the clips of Frankie either hyping up the team during a game or after a play or in practice. He's always got a smile on his face. I can tell you that that's genuine. Always has a smile on his face. But to see him be vulnerable like that and tell the story of loss and being lost after losing somebody like that and just making his way back is great. And also just always never ashamed to be about his faith. Not a lot of people in this world hold on to faith like that. And um, you can hear Frankie always talk about his faith and how it's kept him grounded and how it's brought him back from, again, the tragedies that he's had to face in life. So yeah, it was great to see, man. And it's great to see because it also highlights that he's in a bigger stage now than an undrafted kid. Now, so we've seen him at his best. Like we've seen him be highly touted in American Samoa. We saw him at Washington State where he was also talked about a lot. But then when he first got into the league, undrafted rookie, no playing time at first, and then to where he is now, like literally a star on the defense. One of the stars of the league, actually. I'd rate him top five linebackers in the league. So that's another great thing. And when people get stories done on them like that, even though it's kind of sneaky of them to do it during uh, the alphabet month for us, uh, pretty sneaky of them. They could have did it like right before the season, but we'll
Yeah, this
take it.
story could have been any month,
Yeah,
right?
we'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take
Panther.
it.
Frankie definitely deserves a spotlight with how much he's working and how much he produces and
Yeah,
the example that he puts on. And like you said, hyping everybody up. He's definitely an engine piece.
man, good to
And
see Joe. Like you said, good to see Joe on there because
crazy,
Joe,
yeah.
Joe's another person that has risen. Like, if you guys know Joe's story too, uh, when he got to Arizona, he had to sit out a few years. Some stuff with eligibility at Arizona, but ended up playing and just ended up being great. Also, played for the Redskins at one time in his career, which is cool. Frankie out there with the Redskins now too, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, and just the way Joe's worked his way through the coaching ranks all the way back to Arizona, where he's the associate head coach. That's fire, man. And everywhere he's gone, like he's had really great recruiting with because he works on the D line, and just kids want to play for him. They want to come to the school he's at. They want to be around Joe. And Joe showed like how he took care. Frankie talked about how Joe took care of them at Washington State, and he's taken that everywhere he's been, every coaching station, Oregon, Miami, and now Arizona. So great to see, man. Great to see
But
that love for Joe and Daniel.
what is Joe Salavella's middle name?
I don't know.
Cannon. No, it's Fungofe.
Not even. That's the
The
most
big
Samoan.
Fungofe.
That is the most Samoan thing I've ever heard.
Yo, yeah, that's noisemakers. Yeah, if you haven't seen the piece on Frankie Luvu, definitely it's on YouTube on the NFL channel. So shout out to Frankie.
Oh yeah.
Putting it on for the PIs. All right. Schedule release. How'd you feel about the schedule release? It was last week, I think it was May 14th, where all the teams do like they put out a little thing telling everybody what the games are for that season.
I like our video. We had a funny moment in it.
Right at the beginning, huh? right at the beginning. The Raiders was like The Office.
Yeah,
It was kind of like filmed around in the stadium or in the facilities and stuff. People were walking around. That little dig. They're like, we have 3 Super Bowl titles. 2 of them were won in Oakland and one of them in Los Angeles. And one of the people was like, how many football teams in Los Angeles have won a Super Bowl? And the guy was like, out of the 3 NFL teams that play in Los Angeles, 2 have won Super Bowls. 1, not so much. And they were like, Chargers, week 2, week 13. I was like, oh, wow. But other than that, how'd you feel about it? Like, you watched it all the way through? Any other nuggets from the Raiders schedule release?
I mean, there probably were, but that's the one that stuck with me just because, one, because I'm on the show with you, but 2, because it's a great rivalry. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of times like they throw digs at each other, but also there's a lot of respect between the 2 teams. So, and then winning the game a few years ago, you guys didn't get to the playoff. That was fun too.
That game could have ended in a tie. It was the last game of the season. I think it was like week 18, and it was like Monday night football or Sunday night football.
And it was about to end in a tie. It was about to end in the tie.
Freaking Brandon Staley, all weird and stuff, calls a timeout for the Chargers, and the freaking Raiders are like, okay, instead of running out the clock, did it made overtime? Yeah, this was in overtime.
Yeah.
Instead of running out the clock and just saying whatever, let's both go to the playoffs, the Chargers call a timeout. The Raiders are like, there's a lot of time left. Run for like 9 yards for a first down, put themselves in field goal range, and then Daniel Carlson over here boots the game-winning field goal. Raiders go to the playoffs. The Chargers do not.
But you guys won last year.
Yeah. Right. See.
So, yeah.
Didn't even tell. That was crazy. That was like, even Justin Herbert was caught on the sideline. Like, I've never rooted so hard for a tie in my life. It was like, oh, you're not gonna get to go to the playoffs, dog. Sorry. That was like his first or second year. And then made the playoffs, lost to the Jaguars, made the playoffs, lost to the Texans. Okay. Anyways. The Chargers did a Minecraft video.
It was dope, man. Chargers, I think, have won the schedule release videos the past 2 seasons. I like those.
Last year they did The Sims and just like different little scenes of their upcoming opponents, but in some sort of mocking way.
Yeah.
They said the Raiders have a crappy stadium. I was like, I don't know. That's actually, I've driven by Allegiant. It looks nice. It looks nice. So the schedule release is just a fun way, kind of get it out there. The Chargers, the last couple of years, like I said, this year they did a Minecraft release. Last year it was The Sims, and then the 2 seasons before that they did anime releases, where like you're doing huge fights versus your opponents. So that was cool. But another thing that the schedule release provides us is the actual schedule from week 1 to week 18, where you're going to play, who you're going to play, and a lot of times exactly what time you're going to play. Sometimes some of these times can get moved up, but the order of the people that you're going to play kind of lets you imagine the season, the upcoming season. You know what I'm saying? You go from week 1, week 2, week 3, you see your opponent, you're like, okay, that's a win. Okay, that might be a win. Okay, that's a loss. You kind of map out exactly where you think the team is going to finish at the end of the season. So we want to do that here today, going through each of our teams, the Chargers and the Raiders, and just talking week by week quickly and what record we think the team is going to finish with. Chargers or the Raiders? Who you want to start with?
No matter to me, man. 17-0 either way.
Let's start with the Chargers. The first game of the season is on a Friday, the 5th of September, and it's in Brazil, and it's on YouTube. and it's a home game for us. Ugh. I don't like that. I don't like going out of stadium and it being credited as a home game. Same way with the international games out in the Jaguars are at home at Wembley Stadium or something like that. And I'm like, that like takes away from the home field advantage.
That's what I'm
But
saying. It's weird. Like unless you know that whatever country you're in has like the weirdest like fetish for your team, like, and they have like this
yeah,
fan base there.
then it's just going to be people wanting to watch a game, maybe people that are fans of the other team. I'm sure there's lots of
Right.
Kansas City fans, all across the world nowadays. So, I wouldn't be surprised if that first game in Brazil is more of a red, Chiefs
Yeah.
crowd.
Yeah.
Uh,
What are you looking at? Win?
man, I want to say win, right? But I can't. I can't say win versus the Chiefs to start off. Although I'm going to say loss here. It's just
Lance, did you wake up today as an analyst?
I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes, right? It's Patrick
It is.
Mahomes. It's Andy Reid. It's years and years of, figuring out ways to beat the Chargers, sometimes handedly. So whenever the Chargers are, in a game versus the Chiefs or, beating them, it feels like some David and Goliath stuff. But I don't know. I don't know if the problems facing the Chiefs are like roster related. It's more just like a mentality. These guys have been to the Super Bowl. Also, the Chiefs have played a lot more games, have a lot more experience, right? You count those playoff games, those deep postseason runs, Super Bowl wins. They've been in the fire a lot more than the Chargers have been, right? Exiting in the first round the last two times they went to the playoffs. So I give them that experience. I give the Chiefs that experience edge, that Andy Reid offense, and then having a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes who does magic every single freaking time. It's annoying, super frustrating, but it's just like his connection with Kelsey, especially early on, was devastating. Like it doesn't matter what you do, they know, the exact antidote to whatever you're trying to hit them with. Now it seems like maybe Kelsey's fallen off. This might be his retirement tour season. Definitely not throwing to him as much. Maybe he's just old. They're saving him for the playoffs or whatever it is. But
He wasn't very good in the playoffs either.
yeah, so I mean, but still, I don't know if that's a respect thing or if that's just a mentality thing of going up against the division winner for like the last 10 seasons in the Kansas City Chiefs.
What are three things you think the Chargers need to do to win that game?
Yeah, run the ball. It always comes down to Justin Herbert needs to make a play late. All right, Justin Herbert, it's 3rd and 10. Come on, it's 3rd and 15. Make a play, save us. Run the ball. Do what Jim Harbaugh, do what Greg Roman want to do, and build up a ball control team that runs it down your throat. Not like in a nice finesse Tony Pollard way, in like a Derrick Henry, north south. That offensive lineman rookie for the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
Booker.
Yep.
I forget his name, but the way he was explaining how he plays football and the part he loves about it is like my favorite part of playing this game is watching the love for football leave my opponent's eyes and watching them be like, I actually don't like doing this. This isn't fun. This is not fun. That's what the running game. That's what they want to be for the Chargers, right? Bringing in Najee Harris, bringing in Mekhi Becton, bringing in big guys to make it happen. Control the offense, control the clock. I think that's the biggest thing, actually. I don't know about two other things. I think if they run the ball, pick up first downs versus the Chiefs, then this whole thing is different. And yeah, they got the pieces, bringing in Najee Harris, drafting Omarion Hampton 22nd overall. It's not much behind that.
It also takes away time of possession for Kansas City. So
that's what I'm saying. Keep Mahomes on the bench. Just give me like 3 9 to 10 minute drives, right? And then a bunch of other ones sprinkled in, whatever you can do. But if you can have those long drives, that means Kansas City isn't scoring. I don't know. I feel like not a good fan. Picking the Chiefs, even though I'm like, we could do it. It's the first week of the season, which brings us to the second week of the season, Raider Week. This one is in Las Vegas. Monday Night Football.
Choose your words carefully.
I think this is an easy win. I think no, but you got to think about the changes that have happened. This isn't freaking.
No, you're good. No, you're...
This isn't Jack Del Rio. This isn't Antonio Pierce. This is Pete Carroll.
Hey, look. Before you I'm with you. I'll do mine since we're already here, and it's the Raiders. I'll do mine right after yours since we're already here for our schedule.
We mean this game?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's a new regime in Las Vegas. Pete Carroll's coming in, implementing his system. He's bringing in Chip Kelly, who has been in college football for the last couple of years, but he's got to get his offensive rolling. The Chargers should have better defense, better offense, and a coach who's been there longer. So even though this is in Vegas, I think the Chargers should win this one. I can see them not, but the Chargers do start with 3 division games, right? Kansas City versus Las Vegas. They're going to travel, or they're going to host Denver in week 3. It's really important that they get these wins right now. These division games are coming fast and early for the Chargers. If they go down 0-3 and give a division game to each of the rivals, this whole season goes off the rails really quickly, and it's going to be super difficult to get it back. The schedule for the Chargers this year has tougher opponents than last year. So it's but also last year, I think the Chargers only beat 3 teams with winning records, or they beat up on bad teams, right? They beat the Broncos twice. They beat the Bengals to get into the playoffs, lock up a spot pretty early. But if you're not winning division games, you're not, competing for the division title.
You got to take care of division before you take care.
Try to win your division games, otherwise you're going to be stuck fighting for that second or third wild card.
Yeah.
All right. Who do you have for this game?
Yeah, same. I got the Raiders, and almost for the same reasons. The Chargers are dealing with a little bit more familiarity with staff-wise, player-wise. So, of course, Harbaugh and Roman had a year to implement their systems, and they might not be like in full swing right now, but they're farther along than, of course, the Raiders, since they have a whole new regime coming in. Also, again, Pete Carroll is just coming back to the league out of retirement or forced retirement, I guess. And then, you know what? He never really said he was retired. So, like you mentioned, Chip Kelly's also just coming back into the league, where he was coaching up some college players, really good ones at Ohio State. So, yeah, I'll give this game to the Chargers because of those reasons, and those reasons count. Reps with your new quarterback is going to count, and they don't have that right now with Geno yet, like in real game time. They got a new shiny running back who's he's just gotten there, but might be a little pressure on him too, since he's almost like a focal point of the team, as much as Geno is, being the 6th pick in the draft. Also being the best running back to come out of college this season. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a closer game than a lot of people think. One, just because of the feels of the game, like when the Raiders play the Chargers or the Chiefs, somewhat the Broncos, they really go all out. Like that's like you said, not only is it a rivalry game, but it's a division game, and you always want to be able to get that win against a division. Well, one, your division opponent, but 2, a division rival. So, yeah, I think the Chargers at this point in the season should win that game.
Nice, gotcha. More rushing yards in their first game, Genty or Omarion Hampton?
Oh man, I think Genty because he's gonna have the carries. I think he's gonna get a lot of
Oh,
opportunities
yeah.
because he's not sharing a backfield with Najee Harris. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. There's no other running backs that are going to take away from his production.
Yeah. So, and yeah, not for the lack of talent. That's not why he's not going to get as many carries as Genty. Genty's just not sharing the backfield with anybody. He does have Mostert back there, but uh, I mean, there's people even talking about Mostert maybe being used for trade bait. He hasn't even played a down yet for the Raiders, and people were like, "Well, Genty's there.
Damn.
He might be able to move Mostert now for something." I was like, "Bro, can he play at least a preseason game,
Can he get in real quick?
right?" But
Uh,
yeah, the reps are going to be there for Genty for sure. I think the O lines. You guys have the advantage because of the two tackles you guys have.
mhm.
Um, whether or not Slater's going to be there at the beginning of the season or where they're going to play Joe Alt. But yeah,
The contract will get done. All right, week 3 for the Chargers. They host the Denver Broncos. Denver doing better. We talked about Dre Greenlaw getting an injury last month. I think he had a torn quad.
yeah,
Talanoa Hufanga, who recently signed with them, is recovering. But their offense was Bo Nix. It was like a Madden offense, man. Bo Nix would stand back there, and if he found an open pocket, he would run, and it was annoying. He had a lot of yards. And he also threw some bombs, and I didn't like equate that to Bo Nix being super good. It was more Sean Payton scheming stuff up.
mm.
Um, yeah, this is a tough one. The AFC West divisional games are going to be tough. I don't know. Help me out here. Versus the Broncos at
I,
home. This should be a win.
it should be a win. I like the Chargers just because they also had some time to rest. Like the Broncos are coming off. I know people are like, that's stupid. They were in the playoffs. They were in the playoffs, but they might have some guys who are banged up a little bit longer than the Chargers. So the Chargers had some time to heal over the not that the Broncos were deep into the playoffs, but still. Um, and I think they were able to sit back and see what needed to be fixed a lot. So yeah, I like the Chargers. I think they'll be well prepared this season against the Broncos. I didn't see the Broncos do anything significant in the offseason, besides like the Greenlaw and Hufanga signings and Greenlaw's. I don't think he's available for that game. So
Um, I'm looking at the schedule, working back to week 2 at Las Vegas. That's the Monday. Monday is the day after my birthday. We should go. Let's go. It's
hey man,
$150 to get in.
I'm down.
All right.
I'm down.
Let's say we win against the Broncos. Just more, you know, their offense isn't all there. Who they got? Cortland Sutton. They got
So
Patrick Surtain, who won Defensive Player of the Year last year, actually, and an extra day of rest since the Chargers were playing the Raiders the week before on Monday Night Football.
hey,
Oh,
but you guys got Quentin Johnston. So
hey, TCU wide receiver Quentin Johnson. These are the games that the Chargers are going to have to win, right? You're supposed to win them. You can't drop these games, especially when you're
definitely.
fighting versus pretty tough competition the rest of the year. So Chargers come out of those first 3 games 2-1. I'm saying weeks 4 and 5, they got a trip to New York versus the Giants, and then back home versus the Washington Commanders. This year, the AFC West plays the NFC East and the AFC South. So the AFC South is pretty easy, right? Colts, Jaguars,
Yeah,
Titans.
yeah. Closer to the bottom of the league than they are to the
Yeah.
top.
The NFC East,
They
good
have some
teams.
contenders. Yeah,
Good
yeah.
teams. Philadelphia Eagles just won. The Cowboys got George Pickens. The Commanders, Jaden Daniels. Um, but then the Giants. Giants not doing that great. They got Russell Wilson. They drafted Jackson Dart. There's a quarterback quandary to figure out. we're playing the Giants at MetLife, early morning, 10 a.m. on CBS. Give me a win. Knock it out. These are games that you should be running over these people.
They too have a shiny new running back, so you might want to watch out.
Who is the Giants' new running back?
Cam Scatterboo.
Scatterboo. Nah.
Nah, it doesn't put no fear into you.
No. Fear? No. He's a Arizona State dog, right?
Hey, man.
He looks tiny. He looks
the name
small.
Like Scatterboo. Oh, no, he kind of built. I don't know.
Yeah, like a refrigerator, like a mini fridge. But I mean, it's like, well, yeah, we'll see. Win against the Giants, then home at SoFi for the Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels, you cool. But I don't know about picking up a road win across the country. That thing where the East teams, it is an advantage for the East teams that fly west as opposed to the West teams that fly east because of the time difference. Yeah. The time difference, right? So a game that starts at 10 o'clock LA time, they feel like it's 1 o'clock. They're in Washington on the Eastern Seaboard. So there might be an advantage there, but you're still traveling. It's still a better quarterback in Justin Herbert, better wide receivers. Yeah, so that will be fun to watch, but Chargers take that. At Miami in week 6 versus Tua and a Dolphins team that is kind of reeling. Give me another win. Oh my goodness. That's a 5-game winning streak. At Dolphins?
I mean, they might have some pieces to them, so I mean,
yeah, they also make their opponents wear the dark colored jerseys.
Yeah. So that might be like some, secret juju that they have to them. So I don't know.
Their defense, though, right? Who's their defensive coordinator? Baker? No. What's his name?
I don't know.
Anthony?
Is it Anthony Weaver?
Weaver. Yeah.
Anthony Weaver. You guys might lose then. You know where Anthony Weaver went to college?
No.
Notre Dame.
All right, so week 7, the Chargers host the Indianapolis Colts. Two games for the Chargers. Sunday, week 7 versus the Indianapolis Colts, and then that Thursday they stay home and host the Minnesota Vikings.
I think the Colts game could be a trap game for you guys.
I can see it.
I think if Anthony comes out and he's just a serviceable quarterback, he doesn't have to be like
Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, if he can come out and be like just decent, it makes the rest of the team great. Because they still have a great running back. Their defense looks really good. They have a great receiver there, so they've got some pieces. I have to say. See, I mean, I still think the Chargers could be like ahead of them, like preparedness wise. Because I think their coach is just really good at preparing them, like having them for this season. Like he's had time to get his whole offense set up, the team to buy into whatever he's selling. So, but yeah, could be a trap game for you
guys. Yeah, and Jonathan Taylor, any running back that can take over a game always poses that risk of upsetting, the underdog upsetting, the home team or the favorite. I'm not scared of the Indianapolis Colts or Anthony Richardson. Maybe his potential, but not his play. So I take a 6th win in a row for the Chargers. Oh my gosh. This is too much. This is gonna fall apart. Thursday night on Prime, Thursday Night Football versus the Minnesota Vikings. JJ McCarthy, he's got 2 months of experience at this point.
Are you gonna say 7 wins in a row?
7 wins in a row for the Chargers.
Wait a minute.
Look. I'm just going. Hey,
Lance messaged me and said we're gonna do this, and then he said sternly at the end of his message, "As analysts for us, as analysts."
I'm analyzing each week. If you zoom out and you're like 2 months in a row of wins, no. But if I'm looking at it each week, week by week. Miami, Indianapolis,
You must have
rookie
some goggles on
Minnesota.
right now looking at this.
No, it's going to even out because the end of the season is really tough for the
Oh
Chargers.
man. You know what? I changed my answer now for
6-2.
Oh man.
All right. So after that Thursday night game versus the Vikings, they have a week and a half to get ready to travel to Tennessee to face the Titans. Rookie quarterback, first overall pick, Cam Ward.
We are 8-1 right now. Is that
We
what we're
are
saying?
8-1 right now. Isn't that crazy? You got to beat the rookie quarterback.
And I'm
All
not
right.
saying it like that because I mean, everything you said is valid. Like
Right.
the quarterback situation with the Titans, same thing, quarterback situation with the Vikings and the Colts. Actually, yeah, all three teams
Yeah.
have a quarterback situation there. And depending on whether the Dolphins have a healthy Tua, yeah, okay, I see it a little bit. But yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. See, you get it. All
Yeah, I
right.
got it.
So after the Titans, back to LA. Oh, also, the Chargers this year are traveling the most miles in NFL history.
Man, that's nothing. We did that 2 years ago, so stop
The
playing.
most ever. And
Stop
it's a
playing.
big 12-hour trip to Brazil, which is a chunk of it. But then they go all the way from that bottom left corner of the continental United States all over, playing the AFC South and the NFC East. All right. After the Tennessee Titans, the Chargers are 8-1. They host back to LA to host the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Steelers, regardless of their current quarterback situation, are always a great defensive team.
Okay.
It
So what
doesn't
if
matter if you cannot score. It does not matter how good your defense is. Now, you could be a great defense, right? And it's like 3-0, but that's not what's happening here. Not at SoFi, not under the dome. Pittsburgh's not ready. Steelers aren't ready. This is also a Sunday night football game. The Chargers, I think, are on prime time like 5 or 6 times. Sunday night football, the lights are bright. You are at home. You're on a win streak. Jim Harbaugh does not let the Steelers come into his house and take them for their second loss of the season.
folks,
Unless
the Chargers are heading in to a week is it an 11 game with the Jaguars 10-1, folks.
wait. All right. If Aaron Rodgers is playing, this is a lock for a Chargers win.
Bro, if the current quarterback the Steelers have is playing, it's a lock.
If Mason Rudolph is playing, it might be a trap game. There might be some danger there. The Chargers might be like, oh, on to Jacksonville. But you got to focus on the Steelers. Their defense might do something funky. But if it's Aaron Rodgers out here slinging it to Cam Hart, Tariq still, like Tar Heap still, Elijah Molden will be back by then. The Chargers are gonna win. I'm gonna put down a win. All right. Week 11. This is their 11th game in a row. This is at Jacksonville. This is versus Trevor Lawrence, the new coach, Liam Cohen, Duval. Travis Hunter, second overall pick. That's what you got to think about. That's going to be exciting to watch. I think the Chargers get a little too ahead of themselves here and suffer a loss in Jacksonville.
Okay.
In Jacksonville. They just get a little too ahead of themselves. They travel out to the East Coast. It's a little too early for them. It's a 10 a.m. game on the East Coast. So it's 7 o'clock to the Chargers' bodies. They're not awake. They're not ready. But we'll see how Jacksonville does. I think Liam Cohen's going to help Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to get a little boost this year. Might have to draft him in fantasy. But I have the Chargers at 9-2 going into their bye week, which is week 12. This is the first time the Chargers have had like a bye week in double digits since I can remember. And it's all I've ever wanted is for a late bye week because I'm tired of getting a bye week in early October before pumpkin spice even comes out, before, the candy aisles are stocked for Halloween and the Chargers are already taking a break. It's like there's no point in having a week 5 or 6 bye. Yeah, it's like your body's not beaten up enough. Sure, you're playing football, so it hurts. You're got injuries and stuff. But if you're thinking about a late season push, having this break 3 months into the season, I think is optimal. I think it's good for your playoff chances. Week 12 is the bye for the Chargers. Week 13, home versus the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't see how they lose this. This is not the Raiders. That week will be actually the Raiders will come off a 2-week homestand, week 11 and 12 versus the Dallas Cowboys and the Cleveland Browns, and then you travel to LA for this game where the Chargers are rested and waiting. I think it's a win. It's a home game. It's a home game.
That's a home
for
game
all
for
of us. It's a home game for everybody. No, I mean, not if like
there's gonna be more silver
LA fans
stadium than it'll ever be blue.
I don't know.
No, I don't know.
I do know. I do know. I have experienced it. I am very. I know, but I don't know about this one. The end of November. This is the end of November. This is the last day of November, November 30th, 125 game.
I really wish there was alcohol in this right now.
What is that? What is that? A blue cup?
It's water.
I know, but like, what kind of cup is that? Is that?
It's a watered down blue cup, like your watered down tea.
Hey, we're now 10-2. We're 10-2 going into week 14, and this is where it gets a little dicey because the Chargers end the season hosting the Philadelphia Eagles, who just won the Super Bowl.
Loss.
Going to the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium.
Loss.
Traveling to the Dallas Cowboys.
That's
a what? That's a win? Oh, nice. Hosting the Houston Texans and then ending the season in that divisional game in Denver at Mile High.
You guys might drop the Texans, but I think you have a better chance at beating the Broncos.
Might drop the Texans, better chance of beating the Broncos. That I agree with. The Eagles, better team, right? Better players, roster.
Better players. Oh my gosh, that's what I forgot to text you. They gave Nick Sirianni a contract extension today.
Yeah. Just making the Super Bowl should have got him one compared to just precedent of coaches. But winning that Super Bowl, we're stuck with Nick Sirianni in our lives for freaking at least 4 more years.
That guy.
Including this season. So hopefully by 2030 we're Sirianni-less. But the Eagles, tush pushing. Well, tush push might get banned. I know Frankie wants it to get banned. Frankie Luvu was like, this play is a cheapo play. We should ban it. The numbers don't say that it's dangerous. It's just kind of boring to watch and unstoppable. So I don't know about banning it, but the like reasoning for banning it is like, oh, someone could get hurt, but no one's really ever gotten hurt.
Right. Then that means you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing if you're getting hurt.
Yeah. All right, so drop versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Drop a tough one versus the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Still on the road, maybe a bit of a bummer, but this kind of evens out. 3 losses in a row. And then a revenge game at home versus the Texans, the team that knocked you out. And now you can figure out how to cover those inside stunts so you're not getting rushed up, tackled, messed up all the time. And then a win versus the Texans and a win at Denver if you need it. Maybe you're locked up by now. You don't need it. But so that'll be loss, win. 12-5. Last year they were 11-6. It's not that off from what's been going on recently.
It's not. Plus, but also doesn't mean the same as it did in recent years, only because we've seen 10-win teams not make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So 12 could still be like a wild card, or it could just be you just barely making it to the playoffs. So, but that's
last year the Chiefs were 15-2. So 12 wins doesn't mean necessarily a division win.
Yeah.
In the AFC West, but hopefully it at least is a wild card.
12-5. Yeah, I can see it.
12-5.
Yeah.
It's some of those people take jumps. If the Chargers defense continues to be one of the league leaders in yards and points allowed, the Chargers offense is the side of the ball that needs to take a jump.
No, definitely.
So,
Yes, have the coaching
protecting
staff.
Justin Herbert, actually having a run game, Herbert gets all the blame, he lost the game.
Yeah.
It's the defense, right? He puts up points, but
Yeah.
the defense has got to stop it. So,
Yeah.
So I got the Chargers at 12-5, and that's the really good thing about schedule release. The games don't happen for another 3.5 months.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that the Chargers aren't going to go 12-5. Even if you're right, we're not going to know for 3 more months. So it's this like gray area fun time where we can just kind of look and schedule these things out.
Sure.
So those are the Chargers. Let's go to the other team on this pod, the Las Vegas Raiders 2025 schedule. How deep do you want to get into these? You want me to read the list off your schedule?
Bro, let me tell you this. Just the way you ended your part, and I'm going to end it mine, because you said we still have 3.5 more months to get to an actual win or loss record. 17-0. 17-0.
That is every Raider fan. That is every Raider fan. They're like, I don't even need to see the schedule.
No, I don't. We're at 17. I already knew we were 17-0 when we lost the last game.
All right.
Like, oh, God, 17-0. But heading into week 1, I think we do have the advantage over New England. Both new coaches. I think Drake May again has the higher ceiling, but right now Geno Smith, he's been in the league. I like Geno Smith over Drake May right now. So
it's starting to get a little close though. It feels like
for sure.
Like last year, it was like, oh, Drake May a rookie, Geno Smith a vet. But now it's like, Drake May has shown some like skills. Geno doesn't have those that ceiling.
He don't have the ceiling. He don't have the movement Drake does with his feet, man. Because people look at Drake May, a lot of people, and this is just how people think. They look at Drake May as this white dude and be like, "There's no way he's got wheels. Yo, that boy can move, man.
Oh, he may.
He can move. There you go. Just like he said, he may go all the way. But everybody's like, these guys are corny. Of course we are.
It's funny.
Yeah,
it's funny to us. All right.
I think
we versus the New England Patriots.
That's
in New England.
In New England, I think. I think it's gonna add to like Pete Carroll's comeback. Like he's gonna go in someone else's house first game back and put their foot in their ass. Excuse me.
All right, at Pats, week 1, win. Raiders 1-0. Raiders then go to the Chargers.
No, we want to know Chargers, and I think I'll give that win to the Chargers just because they're farther along in their rebuild. They're at this point, they went to the playoffs last year. Harbaugh came in, did what he needed to do, and not just making it to the playoffs, but players are buying into teaching them. So the whole culture shift is exactly what the Raiders are going through right now. What the Chargers did last season, from the time Pete Carroll and Spytek got there. The culture shift is, and I know we hear that about a lot of teams, especially the Raiders too. They have new coaches, new GMs, and every other team wants to put out something like the culture shift it's amazing. But I mean,
new culture.
Even people who aren't Raiders fans are seeing the differences in management, front office management. The draft was different. And just acquiring the players, like we would have, the Raiders have always gone after like a big shiny free agent in the past. Not to say that Geno Smith isn't like that, but they've like Devontae Adams. They went after the quarterbacks that were available before, like Garoppolo. He was shiny because a lot of teams wanted him because he was coming off like a good stretch where he started for a little bit, and even the Christian Wilkins signing it was big for them, but it wasn't like, I guess it wasn't, as the kids say these days, it wasn't a sexy move. Like, yeah, Christian Wilkins is probably one of the top defensive tackles in the league, but he stops the run, fills gaps. He sets the rest of the lineup, and people don't see what he does on paper. Well, they see it on paper, but they don't see it on the field. So
Oh, I think Christian Wilkins is a great.
I think
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
yeah. But I give that one to the Chargers. I think
Okay.
they're farther ahead right now in their development, and especially in the beginning of the season. So
Right,
uh,
having that continuity from last year
right,
and you
right,
guys starting over. You're right.
yeah. And then going into Washington, um, man, hard to say, but I do. That's another loss for us. So at this point, we're 1-3 because Washington again. Um, I think
One,
they're just gonna hit the ground running from last year. They're just
one
gonna
and
continue.
two.
Yeah, I think they're gonna end up doing. Sorry, 1-2. They're gonna. I can't count, folks. I'm not very good at math, even though I'm half Asian. Jokes, don't cancel me. Uh,
Double your month.
yeah, that's a loss just because I think Washington's just gonna continue with the success that they had from last year. I think they're only getting better.
Mm-hmm.
Again, and then hard not to be biased. We get to cheer for Frankie, even though it's against my team. Uh, we're still cheering for Frankie till he does well in that game. And
Are you going to go to that game?
man, I'm trying to. Frankie, if you're listening, Frankie, if you're listening to this, it's your home game. I just need the one ticket, bro. I'm not gonna bring anybody with me. I can sleep at the airport. I'll get there, get to the game. After the game, jump on a flight and leave. I just need the ticket, Frankie.
I just need to see you and the Raiders.
Right, that's all I need, Frankie. I'll even wear a Commander's jersey. Uh,
Okay. Frankie, get this guy a Luvu
come
jersey.
on,
Get him in the
Frankie, man.
game.
Come on, man. I'll cheer quietly for my team, but loud for you. Promise.
Hey. All right. Week 4 back home versus the Bears.
I think that's a win just because I think the Raiders are a better organization right now. Or I think they're sorry. I think they're in a better place as an organization right now. Uh, Even coaching wise, I know they got Ben Johnson over there. The Raiders even tried to get Ben Johnson. I guess he was the number one prospect of free agent coaches last year. If we had a market for that,
Mm-hmm.
Ben Johnson was the guy everybody wanted. And again, I'll go back to the conversation I had with a friend of the show and my good friend personally, Jay Somali. He said it's an offensive league. So for you to go out and get the top offensive coordinator only makes sense to that. You go get that guy
Mm-hmm.
to make your team better because the league's all about scoring. And Ben Johnson showed that that's what he was doing out there in Detroit. So
That's also a huge thing for their quarterback,
Caleb
Caleb
Williams,
Williams, right?
who's
Who's supposedly, first overall pick, supposed to have that potential, but that
yeah,
first year under Matt Eberflus,
wasn't really
Shane Waldron
yeah,
as offensive coordinator was not it. It was more
wasn't
him,
really
scrambling around and stuff like that. But
right.
now they got Ben Johnson, who's the offensive coordinator of what the Lions have been doing for the last couple of years.
Yep.
So it's going to be exciting for the Bears. But you think
I think we get the win because Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson have to form that relationship, have
it's
to
still
get used to
early?
each
Yeah.
other, right? It's still early. Whereas even though Pete Carroll is coming in as a new coach and Geno Smith is coming in from a new team, they've played together. That was Geno's coach out there in Seattle. So, the system's not going to be too far off from what Geno knows already.
Mm-hmm.
Um, even though Chip Kelly is the offensive coordinator, a lot of the way the team's going to be ran, Geno Smith is going to be comfortable there because he was comfortable when he was out there in Seattle with Pete Carroll, and Geno Smith is going to be a big reason for the success of the Raiders this season. So if Geno's comfortable, I think by the time we get to the Bears, that should be a win for us.
I'll say this could, yeah, right. It should be a win. I think this could be one of those tough games that the season kind
Definitely
of
the
pivots
way,
around,
yeah,
right? Because if you crush the Bears, you're riding high. You're going to Indianapolis, Tennessee. Those are very winnable games. You get a win streak going before
yeah,
visiting the Kansas City Chiefs. If you lose versus the Bears, that's kind of like a stiff jab to the Raiders season. It's like, oh, we thought we
for
were,
sure,
going to be able to steamroll these guys. Maybe
yeah,
there's a little confidence check or something like that. And if that is an issue going onto the road, you could, and it ends up escalating into a losing streak or something like that.
Yeah, you
So
just
this could
snowball
be
real quick.
yes, yeah, exactly. So this could be a very important game for the Raiders season. Week 5 at Indianapolis Colts. And this is where we're playing the same teams, right? The
Yeah,
AFC West is all going to play the AFC South and the
AFC
NFC
South and
East.
NFC. Yeah, I think that's a win for us as well.
Mhm.
I don't think Anthony Richardson is developing the way he should be developing. I don't know whether that's
True.
coaching wise. Anthony Richardson.
True.
I,
Yeah, true. He's
I,
not developing for a 4th overall pick
yeah,
who had all the
and
potential raw, but he's
yeah,
still raw 4 years later.
yeah, and I think with the current potential of the defense and Pete Carroll there helping out, I think they'll be able to contain Jonathan Taylor. Hard to, I mean,
Nice.
that's tough to say coming out of my mouth just because it's Jonathan Taylor. Such a
Not
great,
limit, but contain.
yeah,
Right,
yeah,
enough to
definitely
get the
not limit.
win. Yeah.
There's no way you limit a guy with talent like that, especially if he's healthy.
Yeah,
So
yes.
I remember the Raiders playing him a few seasons ago where they held him to like maybe like 40 yards in the first half, like in way until like to the end of the third, and then all of a sudden at the end of the game, my man had like 145 yards and like 2 touchdowns. You're like, what the hell just happened? You're like,
It's
what the? So yeah, that Jonathan Taylor has that kind of potential. So, but I believe we're farther ahead at that point against the
that
Colts.
quarterback situation for the Colts is kind of
It's
holding them
weird.
back now.
I'm not saying he's gonna come in and just be great in the league, but I have high expectations for Riley Leonard. Yes, of course, because he's a Notre Dame quarterback, but also because I think his skills translate more into what the Colts were looking for from Anthony Richardson. He's about the same size. He's good with his feet, just like Anthony Richardson was, but I think he coming into the league as a rookie, I think he might be farther along throwing wise than
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson. So I think if Riley Leonard gets a chance there, I think the Colts may have a steal there, and they might be able to flip Anthony Richardson for something nice in the season.
Or you wonder, if they can get a first overall pick for Anthony Richardson, probably not. But if they could, I'm sure they do that immediately, kind of move
Yeah,
on with a cheaper option. I wonder if they'll have the guts to
that too.
realize if there's like a later round quarterback that's
Yeah,
better and
because
make
they
that
did it
move.
last
Or
year.
if they're gonna, or if they're gonna be like, no, he is a top
No,
5 pick. We
yeah.
gotta start him. You sunk cost fallacy. Just cut it, move
I
on,
think
get
I
rid of
think
him.
at this point in his career, I think they're ready to be like, well, if you're not doing it for us early, then
That's the thing, man. Quarterback is like, or you got to hit early now. It's not a lot of
yeah,
sit
yeah,
behind Brett Favre for 3 seasons.
exactly. Yeah,
All right, week 6 for the Raiders, who are now 3-2, kind of even. That's a little low radar.
yeah, yeah,
Week 6, you guys host the Tennessee Titans, who were the worst team in the league last year.
yeah. That's a win. That just we don't even need to talk about that. Win, win,
Week 7,
win,
this is
win.
before the bye week. Week
We we
7, you
we
guys go
wrote
to Arrowhead for the Kansas City Chiefs.
we wrote the blueprint on how to beat the Chiefs. Okay.
Disrupt,
No,
unleash the condor.
okay, I
Wait,
got that. I got that.
you're saying Jordan rules this guy.
Hey,
You're saying
whatever
rough
works,
him up.
bro.
Whatever
Whatever
works.
works. Whatever works. Did we not beat him? Did we not? Okay.
Okay.
Uh, okay, I got that out my system. Tough to say, but just because the Raiders are developing right now. I wouldn't be surprised if they came out with a win because they're the Raiders, man. They do that. But it's a
It
different coaching
happens.
staff. So the way they played the Raiders the last time, or the Chiefs the last time, isn't going to be the same way they played the Chiefs this time. I don't care what people say. Oh, well, they have the blueprint. It's two different coaching staffs. It's going to be a turnover in roster. So um, I like their development, but at that point, I don't think they're there yet. So I will give the Chiefs that game. I will give
Respect.
the Chiefs that game.
This is in Kansas City too.
Yeah, in Kansas City stuff.
Um, all right. The bye
Bye
week,
next.
right
Yeah,
in the middle of the season, or
we
right
win
just
that.
about the middle.
We win week 8, bitches.
We win week 8. Make sure no one drives after Top Golf. You guys exit the bye week successfully.
Wow. Wow.
Week 9.
Wow.
Week 9. This is the first week of November.
That's a win because we beat the Jags all the time. It's the Jags.
The
They're gonna
Jacksonville
falter.
Jaguars in LA
They're
knock them
gonna
out.
falter. Yeah, done.
Okay.
Done. Done so.
A Thursday night game 4 days later. This one on Prime Video, prime time, 5 o'clock at Denver, mile high up in the sky.
I think at this point now, the guys on the team have bought into Pete Carroll. I think they've already bought into what he's saying, but I think now they can see a lot of the stuff that he's changed is really working with the team. So I think at Denver, and of course, no one's going to believe me when I say, no, this is not my bias against Denver, but I believe we beat Denver in a tough game, of course. In a tough game, I think we beat Denver.
In a
again,
fight.
Yeah, we got the guy on defense to do it. Max Crosby's still going to be the same guy, and a lot of people are like, it's a team sport. It's one guy. He can't win the game by himself, but he does a lot of changing of the game by himself. Like he really alters the game just on a few plays. Yeah, so it's hard to keep an eye on him, and I think by this point he's going to be fired up. Like this part of the season, he's going to be like full throttle. Just by the time he gets to Denver, and I think he's going to wreak havoc there. And I think Geno Smith is just going to be really great for the Raiders. And at this point, I think he's going to just be full swing now into the offense, and he's going to have a hold of it. And Chip Kelly, I think his system is really going to make people look at Geno Smith in a totally different light. Like, I think Seattle's going to be wondering why he didn't play like that for them. I think a lot of teams are going to smack themselves on the head for not going after Geno and letting the Raiders get him. So, yeah.
Yeah, the fact that Seattle was ready to move on from Geno Smith and then bring in Sam Darnold. You say, I think Darnold's like a little younger. They got a 3rd-round pick from the Raiders who they used on a young quarterback, Jalen Milroe. But yeah, if it doesn't go well with Darnold and Milroe does need some time to develop as a passer.
Yeah.
Then Geno Smith is going to make them look stupid, right, for trading him away. And if on top of that he's putting up stats and getting these wins, and the Raiders are putting him in successful situations, it's going to be like, why did we let this guy go? Fire John Schneider. After the bye week, you guys got 10 games.
A win after Denver. That's a win.
Okay, so you guys get about 10 days before you play Monday Night Football versus the Dallas Cowboys in the middle of November. You taking that as a win?
That is a win. And
automatic.
I know you were saying that they can't guard both CD and Pickens. We don't have to. You know why? Because Pickens is going to play his way out of Dallas by that time anyway.
You're saying Pickens isn't even going to make it to week 11.
Dak's not going to throw to somebody who's trying to beat him up half the time on the sideline.
No.
That's not happening. I think Pickens already wore his welcome out in Dallas. So,
wait, what do you mean how?
No, I'm just saying it's Pickens.
Just because of how crazy they be showing him?
It's just Pickens.
I think Pickens is going to have to adjust to not being the number one, but I think he looks at CD Lamb and he's like, well, I'm not that guy yet. So fall into place. Be the best wide receiver too. What?
I'm sorry. I don't think he's going to see that. Just because George Pickens has got to be. He's going to George Pickens. That's what he's going to do because he's George Pickens.
That's what we see. That's what we see.
I'm telling you. And by that time, we haven't even mentioned Genty. So by the time week 11 comes around,
professional vet.
Oh my gosh! So funny story. He's changing his stance now.
Yeah, what's up with that? You think they made him change it?
Chip Kelly asked him to change it, and he said, "I'm going to be professional. I haven't proven anything yet in this league, and I haven't proven anything with it. I haven't done anything for the Raiders yet. So he's asking me to change it." And so he said Chip Kelly came to him and was like, "You play basketball?" And he was like, and they have clips now. Genty at 5'9" is dunking with ease. Is wild. So
I can see it.
Chip, I can actually with all those muscles. He's just super fit. He asked Genty, you play basketball? He goes, yeah. He goes, all right, pretend I have the ball and guard me. And the first thing Genty did was break down and bend his knees, and he was in a defensive stance.
It's like,
and Chip Kelly goes, that's how I need you to run. why do you play defense like that? And Jency explained to him why he plays defense like that. Movement wise, you can get here to here faster, And then Chip Kelly was like, exactly.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, I'll try it. So
Oh
he's gonna try
no.
it. He was in good spirits, so he said he's gonna try it. And then he said once he starts racking up numbers and does something in the league, then he's gonna go back to Chip Kelly and be like, now can I change it back? So I like it. I like the energy. I like the energy. The kid's all about winning. Somebody asked him on
Yeah.
the coaching staff if he would change for them, and he said yes. So yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it. That's a win. Cowboys, you guys are gonna get the full wrath of and because Will's team is the Cowboys, and I was giving him crap all Saturday long about it. So that's a win. That's a win. I can hear my beautiful niece in the background, so
I
we
was
can
I was like, did you hear that? She's
yeah,
yelling.
we're gonna go over these real quick because
Wait,
hey,
okay.
win with the Browns. The Browns is a win because they're just messy right now. They do have potential to be a great team. They still have Miles Garrett there. They got some pieces. Man, if
Yeah.
Amari Cooper ends up going back there, that that's another piece there. They just got to figure out who's gonna throw all these guys the ball. Week 13 are the Chargers. I gave you guys the first one, but again, you guys again have developed and are still improving under um, the bitter Harbaugh at this point. No, not really. But yeah, I think the Raiders by this point will be hitting a stride. Like you said, the game against the Bears is really going to determine a lot for the rest of the season.
Mhm.
So, but I think by this point, we have won that game, and then all the things we've done since then, I think we'll split the series 1-1, and I think we take that one, even though I know it's at LA, and I know people are just like, that's a home game for the. It's not a home game for the
Yeah.
Chargers.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not actually a home game for the Raiders. It's like neutral. There's gonna be so many Raiders fans. It's the only time that they have MMA match set outside of the stadium for fun. So, uh, that's a win. Um, we're gonna beat the Broncos. Beat the bricks off the Broncos.
You guys then host the Broncos. You're gonna beat them again.
We're gonna beat them again, 2-0 against the
Sweep the
Broncos.
Broncos.
That's definitely we're sweeping the Broncos, and then sorry Raiders, but we're probably gonna lose that Eagles game. That D line that they have is always gonna change my mind. Like for now, um, our line isn't solidified yet. I think we're getting better at the O line position,
Mhm.
but yeah, that D line is they're gonna wreak havoc against any team who isn't set with their O line yet. Doesn't have like a team that has an O line that's been playing together together long. They're super disruptive. Just at the D tackle alone.
Yeah.
Um, they got a shiny new linebacker. I know you guys hear me say that a lot. I was watching all the analysts earlier on YouTube, and that's good they said saying about these new players. But they have Jihad Campbell. How,
Bruh.
how after winning the Super Bowl, you come away in the draft with Jihad Campbell? People, why did you guys let them draft them? Yeah, but yeah,
30
well,
teams passed on him.
that's wild. That's wild. Uh,
Continue from Philadelphia the next week. This
I
is
like.
the week of Christmas. You guys
I
are at Houston.
I think we take both Houston and the Giants. Um, Houston, of course, they're a good team, but still, yet they're they're not. I don't know what happened after that night.
Stephon
That
Diggs got injured.
I
Tank
guess
Dell
so.
injured.
Yeah, there's a lot of injuries, but at the same time, even Stroud didn't look the same. So I'm not saying he's a bust
Yeah,
or
yeah, true. Yeah,
I'm just
he fell
saying,
off.
just yeah, he had fallen off a little bit. So I think they're still recovering from that. I think we can sneak that win in. Um, yeah, and then the Giants, of course, I don't think they're near where they're gonna be, even though they have Brian Burns there, great piece. Dexter Lawrence. Um, and like you said, the quarterback situation. If if Jameis is the quarterback by the end of the season, they're not in trouble, but they're not where they want to be. Definitely.
Well, I
Uh,
mean, Jackson, if they're gonna sub somebody in, it's gonna be their rookie Jackson Dart, right? Like you let Russell Wilson start the first
That's
couple
what I mean.
months, and then bring in Jackson Dart.
So what I'm saying is like they're gonna give like it's gonna be so bad at the quarterback position that they're gonna give Jackson Dart a chance, and then they're gonna have to give it back to Jameis.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, wow.
yeah. So and then you know what? Because we won all that and we're prepared now, we beat the Chiefs in week 18.
Okay.
Yeah, we're beating the Chiefs in week 18. So uh it's not like the Raiders haven't beaten the Chiefs before. We've beaten them. We've beaten them on the field and on the sidelines and in the parking lots, in the stands. But I think just because of how much um, animosity there is between both those teams, I think we come out with that win because I think the Raiders are going to be on a very good momentum high from like the season itself and getting to the Chiefs and where they're going to be and how far they develop. I think they're going to feed it, and I think they're going to pull out the win against the Chiefs.
So you got the Raiders splitting versus the Chiefs, splitting versus the Chargers.
Yep.
Sweeping the Broncos.
Sweeping the Broncos.
And then only losing to
the Eagles.
Maybe the Commanders in week 3, and then the Eagles,
and the Eagles.
Late week 15 because they're the Eagles, their
Yeah.
roster. You have a 3-game win streak from weeks 4 to 6, Chicago, Indy, Tennessee. A 6-game win streak from 9 to 14, Jacksonville at Denver, Dallas, Cleveland at LA, and then Denver again. And then 3-game win streak to close out the season at Houston versus the Giants, and then hosting KC. You have the Raiders at 13-4.
I like it.
Of course you do.
Wait, you went 12-5. Why can't we be 13-4?
You're gonna be better than the Chargers? Like I said, it's a fun time when the schedule release comes out. And we can look at this. We'll probably look at this, and their answers will change as new information comes in. But
no, for sure.
That's just the first draft.
I mean,
it definitely leans very positive. 12-plus win seasons for both of our teams.
Look, compared to what the real win percentage or win-loss record for the Raiders is going to be, mine is negative because they're going 17-0.
So, you're saying this is a very humble 13-4. This is
super humble.
This is super humble. So those are our predictions. First draft for the Chargers and Raiders schedules. Now that the schedules have released, if you want us to do your team, send it in. DM us at Ballinesian on Instagram or ballinesian@gmail.com. If you're emailing, hit us in the DMs with any of your content or questions or segment ideas. We'll do it. We'll do it.
For full disclosure, whatever team you send, depending on the team, you may be winless. So be careful what team you send.
Certain if the Raiders hate you, don't bother sending in. Any shout outs before we go?
Man, just a shout out Josh again. Can't thank you enough, man. At A1_Tatao on Instagram and TikTok. He travels as well. So check out his schedule. He could be coming to a town near you. I know the next city he's supposed to be in is Nashville. See, Nashville. Tattoo artist, local kid. Again, we talked about Frankie being straight from American Samoa. So is Josh. Josh is a kid straight from American Samoa. Came out here, and just he's made it, man. He's done it. Put the work in. Shit, he put the work in. He's doing work all over the place, man. It's just that shit, man. Shout out to Josh, man. I can't thank him enough. Again, amazing.
It's crazy how you can be an artist, but to be able to do that on skin and make it look like something you were drawing. But to have the drawing skills is already damn. But then to be able to transfer that into ink
I've seen
skin.
Another friend of the show. We've seen him at a lot of these. He was not just a tattoo. He did a lot of designing of T-shirts, and he had a lot of merch too. You can find him at Next55 on Instagram. I seen Poleka. He's also a tattoo artist now, full blown. Did 2 sleeves for family members. Looks amazing, man. Amazing. So shout out to Polytickin, man. Shout out to you, Lex. Um, man, while we're on it, just the rest of the tattoo artists that Teeny out
Hey,
here.
we gotta
Teeny.
start a tattoo show. You
I'm
gotta
telling
be
you, dog. I'm
go
telling you,
through it.
man. Shout out Lee at Lee underscore Inc. Just all these guys tattooed. Paco Polynesia out here in Kent with I think your classmate, King. Is King your classmate?
King, who
Yeah,
be asking that? At Tafuna?
yeah.
Like in the
He
same
went to
class? I don't know.
Tafuna. I think so. He might be a little younger. But he's from the Uli. He went to Tafuna. He owns Paco Polynesia out here. Another great artist, man. Uh, if you guys tattoo, man, send them some stuff. Send us some stuff so we can see, man. We post it for you and try to get your name out there. If you not that you need help, but I'm pretty sure your art will speak for it. But we want to help you get your name even wider, wider
Mhm.
area. So yeah, if you
A
need
different area. Maybe not
yeah,
very wide, but a little
right. I
different.
mean, hey, yeah, let us know, man. We'll try to help you just get your name out there. It's great to see, man. Great to see. Oh, shout out to Hine Pao Pao playing out in Atlanta. Uh,
You see the girl?
man, she's
First
doing it.
bucket.
She looks like she's
Bow,
having fun
bow,
out there.
bow,
That's
bow.
yeah. That's the important part. She looks like she's really having fun out there because, once you play college ball. Of course, it's fun. Yeah, you got NIL money, but you're still playing for pride out there, school pride, bragging rights with each other, talking shit. But you get into the pro leagues, sometimes you can get less fun because it becomes a business for you. You're making money. Sometimes the challenge to play to make money, it kind of takes away from the love of the game. But she looks like she's having fun out there in the league. That's great, man. Just even her social media presence, she's being featured a lot um, for WNBA stuff, for like uh, things out in Atlanta, companies out in Atlanta recognizing her. So it's cool to see, man. Her, Lisa Beatty in the league. That's great. We can't wait to see the other Pacifica girls who are playing college ball this year get into the league as well. And yeah, last year Paul, she transferred from LSU to go play. I think in Arizona, I think it is. So she's not there anymore. Just names great to see, man. Great to see out there. Um, yeah. Last shout out, man. My guy, my nephew Leonidas Valfusi. This will be his last year playing youth football. Uh, I know a lot of people are like, last year that fool should have been playing high school football 2 years ago at 11 years old. He's a big kid. He's a big kid. He's about 6'2", 250 now. Whew, he's 13.
Dang.
So this is his last year playing 13 under, and he moves up to freshman ball come September. So shout out to you, my guy. He's been ranked all over Washington, anywhere from 5 to 1 at his position, guard and D tackle, offensive guard D tackle. So shout out to you, man. Can't wait to watch some games, watch you play. Just yeah, I can't wait to be like, yeah, see, that's your kid laying on the ground. That's my nephew standing over your kid.
Ugh.
We jokes.
That's my nephew running past him.
But yeah, man, shout out to you guys. Anybody else doing anything great? Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you.
Shout out to Artie Savea,
Hey,
2025 Super Rugby Pacific Player of the Year.
fire! I just saw a clip of an older black gentleman in the United States. Like, why would he know about it? But he's talking to the coaches in Australia and telling them, if Artie Sevilla is not the MVP of your league, or if he's not starting for your country, you guys are crazy. I was like, wow, that's crazy. That this dude, like, again, just because it's America, they don't really watch rugby. But some dude in
Right.
the country here, like from the country, talking about that, and you brought that up today. That's dope. Fire.
I definitely haven't watched rugby. I feel like the most rugby I've even played back home was just like on the yards at St.
You
Teresa.
just you just have a rugby shorts.
No rugby shorts
You
now.
don't have a rugby shorts?
I remember being at the bottom of a dog pile the first time I went and played. We didn't even have a ball. We didn't have. It was a milk carton. It was like an Anchor school lunch milk carton,
Oh
and
man.
that was our ball. and I somehow got stuck at the bottom of the pile. I got knocked down. It was like, I want to say 12 people on top of me, and I couldn't breathe, bro. And I saw like a
Bro.
little opening of sky at the top of the pile, and I just like reached the carton to the top, and I was like, take it. And they got off, and then they went out and play continued, and I was like, oh my God. That was like my first experience.
I was about to say, were you a Leonia White?
No. I was a California White.
Totally different in Samoa. Totally different.
No. Ballinesian. Yeah, that was that. Man, it was crazy. My grandma's house was like right across the street from St. Teresa, so it was such an easy commute. It was like, oh, the bell's ringing. I better get out of here and go to school. Yeah. Shout out to Artie Savell winning the freaking MVP over here, Super Rugby Pacific player.
Let's go.
From Moana Pacifica. I need to watch more rugby. We gotta do that. You gotta help me.
Oh, for sure.
Shout out to the Polytickin Network. Shout out to Sefa, Marcus.
Hell yeah.
All the shows. Come on, support. Help us out. Appreciate you guys.
The clips are back, making people laugh, man.
Nice.
It's great to see.
I feel like the clipping is like a hard. I don't know. I try to use an app, but it's like I need to do more of it.
Man. I was just telling Sefa, I was like, hey, bro, you can't be flaming my co-host like that on your clips, bro. You got to give him a chance to respond, bro. You can't cut it.
I should have been drinking tea in front of these foods. Don't drink anything.
Don't drink.
Yeah, that was funny. That's a throwback for real. That's classic.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, check out the clips. Check out the socials. Polytickin Podcast.
Patreon.
Ballinesian Pacifica Movie Starter Kit. That's all on Instagram. Some of the TikToks, you follow us at Ballinesian. Definitely, if you're listening to this on a podcast app, scroll down, rate it, give us some stars, help us out.
Come help us grow.
Or give us like 4 stars and say what we need to improve. Definitely helps to let us know what you think can make this a better experience. But yeah, Samoans Talking Sports here on the Ballinesian Podcast on the Polytickin Network. For Coach Forrest, I'm Lance. Thank you guys so much for listening. Stay hydrated, stay blessed, stay ballin'. Love and light. Peace.
Raiders 17-0, baby.
That is crazy. 17 of them things.